I just did something that I rarely do these days anymore. And not only did I do something, I then got the immediate nudge to come and record a little audio about it. So I don't know why, but that's what I'm doing. In my emails this morning, I had something from Vanessa Henry. It sounds like Vanessa, but there's no A on the end. It's just Vanessa Henry. And she's someone I know from the human design world. I really, really like her work. She's a manifester, and she's just such an original human, for lack of a better term. She's always up to something, always creating, very true to her manifestor form. She's highly creative, and she's always inventing these new experiences in her life and as in terms of things she offers to other people. So somehow I missed this email earlier in the week because this morning I got an email saying, did you miss the announcement? She's offering, I don't remember the name of it, but it's some kind of a journey, an inner journey over the next 6 weeks. I popped on it to read about it, thinking I wasn't going to do something like that. But I saw one phrase that got me, like immediately hooked me. And it said, this is basically a summer camp for your soul. That was the question. What if there was a summer camp for your soul? I was like, oh my God, that is the coolest concept ever. I love a summer project. I very often come up with some kind of summer project to do, but I never thought of it in terms of connecting it to a very specific activity for my soul to go on. So it's this, that's what it's called. It's called Inner Expeditions. Now, I know her work already. I have had a couple readings with her. She's gone very in depth into my human design variables, which has been really helpful for me. I also know her husband because he is a sound engineer and he's worked on a couple different tracks for me. So I know like part of this journey that she's putting together has these guided cinematic sound expeditions. So I already know the level and the quality of the sound is going to just be exquisite. So that kind of had me as it was. And then when I read Summer Camp for the Soul, I was like, this is so interesting. So it's broken up into over 6 weeks, and you find your spirit animal. I don't know that that's what she calls it, but you connect with your animal guide, and then you go on these visions, and you then come back and decode all the symbols that you saw. I've always loved symbols, and the more I learn about the brain, it makes sense why I've been drawn to them, because the subconscious mind only thinks in terms of symbols. That's how it processes information. So Vanessa on her site, she came out with this, I don't know, probably several years ago, but she's got a signs and omens directory. And that is my go-to place to look up. If I come across some kind of animal or some kind of cool plant or some kind of symbol somewhere in my life, I go look up what it means in her specific directory. It's much different than Googling it or like typing in spiritual meaning of an eagle or something like that. You're going to get very different answers from Vanessa. And so there's a whole rationale behind why I think I get those symbols now. And I think it's because my subconscious mind knows exactly where I'm going to go to look them up. And so I think there's some kind of link there. I think it's also why we look down and notice 111 or 222 or whatever. Part of our subconscious awareness knows that those numbers mean something to us. So our entire system is taking in billions of bits of info constantly. And so it's always knowing when a 222 is somewhere in our field, and it then filters it out to get our attention to look over and capture it for some reason. It's the same thing with these signs and symbols. My subconscious knows exactly where I'm going to go look up for it. And so it knows I will go investigate this in some way. And so that's why it brings my awareness to it. If I were not going to do that, I don't think that I would see these things. So she's got these 6-week markers of going on to these very guided visualizations. The other thing that sold me, so to speak, on getting this was she said, I gotta remember the way she framed it. It was one of those, this is for you if kind of things. One of the things was you already have experience with visualization or meditations, which I do. But at the bottom of it was, if you feel like there is some power in you that's dormant. And I was like, oh, I love that word. That's another reason I love Vanessa. Her language, she's super specific about the exact words that she picks. I am that way too. Again, because the subconscious mind thinks in symbols and it needs highly specific language. So saying I'm going to go on a journey or I'm going to go on a voyage, like we understand what that means with our logical thinking mind. But Vanessa, in her way she explains it on the sales page, talks about unlocking very specific coordinates that you're going to be guided to. Right? So the subconscious mind is already like, ooh, coordinates. There's only one set of coordinates for every single space on Earth, or really in the cosmos. So that's highly specific language that I was really drawn to. And then that word dormant, right? Like something asleep inside of you is going to now be woken and stirred. I was like, who doesn't love that for a summer project, especially when it comes to the soul? I think so many pieces of our soul are dormant in the environment that we live in, where we just get flooded with signals and information and noise all the time. Parts of us just go to sleep because they're not being paid attention to. So I welcome this opportunity to tune in to what my soul would like and let it have a little summer camp fun for 6 weeks. And then the third thing that got me, this is what I tend to do sometimes when I'm thinking about making a purchase. I actually wasn't thinking, oh, I'm definitely doing this. I just thought, this is such a cool idea. I kind of want to think about how I could do this on my own. I was really like energized by the thought of it. And I said, wonder what she's charging for this. And I kind of just tuned into it for a minute. I said, it's probably about $200. It's probably $222. Like some kind of angel numbers or whatever. That's what I think. So I clicked on the I'm ready button or the buy now button, whatever it was, and it was like $83. And I was like, oh my God. It was actually $111 Canadian, but it converted to $83 in US. I'm like, okay, that is a no-brainer. Like even if I'm just getting 6 amazing audios, you get a little packet emailed to you every week with your coordinates and the audio, and then you get to go on these visions and then come back and decode everything. I'm already familiar with using her whole signs and omens part of her website. So I just thought, of course I'm doing this. It was instant. I don't often buy things like that, but I just thought I have to do this. And something told me to share it because I don't know, I feel like there's maybe some people out there that this would speak to as well. I'm going to put it on my Instagram, but Vanessa isn't even on Instagram anymore. She wiped out her Instagram and just decided to go a completely different direction, which I highly respect as well. So she's not everyone's cup of tea. She's a manifester, which is like a really penetrating aura. So you'll know if she's for you or she's not, is what I'll say about that. I adore her. I love the way she shares information. I loved her vision, her aesthetic, the way she visually lays things out. It's very, very attractive to me. You can almost see the way she plans and thinks things through. And I know how much intention and thought must go into all of that. I know that she honors that on a deep level. And like I said, I love the way she uses language. I know it's very powerful for the mind, the specific way that she does it, because it's very similar to how I choose my words when I am creating something for clients or for a product that I'm doing. Okay, so there you go. That's my little breakdown. I'm not sure why I felt compelled to share that. Maybe I'll put a link in the show notes just in case anyone wants to check it out. It could be a really fun summer project for you as well.